Well, we did have a spring event, spring festival. The turnout wasn't, what we thought it would be. However, folks came out and had a good time. Had vendors show up. Had about 150 cars in our car show. So that was just a good opportunity just to get things back up and running as far as our event season goes. We currently are in our concert series for summer nights. We had our first concert last week. Those concerts are every Thursday night at 6:30. And tonight, actually, today is June 10th. We have Combo Kings, David Jones out of Belton. His group will be here tonight. We're fortunate that we have a civic center, so when we have threatening weather, which today we do, we can easily move that concert to our civic center, so we never have to cancel it. And that's at 6:30. So
it's free and open.
It's free. It's open. We encourage folks to come a little early, eat at our restaurants, of course, and patronize them. And then throughout the concert, several of the restaurants have ice cream, and so we encourage folks to take opportunity to do that, especially when it gets hot. That's actually nice. But the concerts are good. The bands are great. People have a good time. We have beach music. They have southern rock. Folks get out there and dance, line dance, and shag. It's just a good time. We have an annual Depot Day event, which is in the fall. It's the second Saturday of October. We're currently planning for that now. We've already got vendors lined up, so we look for that to be a pretty big event. That is our signature event of the year. We also have a chili cook-off. We have about 20 contestants that enter that. It's not a formally judged. It's more of a fun competition, but it's a big turnout. That's on a Thursday in October. I don't have the date for you for that just yet. And then we have a big Halloween on Main festival where we invite the kids. The merchants will give out candy to kids, and we sort of create a Halloween festival. And that's always the Saturday before Halloween. So whatever date Halloween falls on, this is the Saturday before that. And then, of course, our Christmas events. So the mayor and council just passed our budget, which identifies, obviously it's a small town, so it's a small budget, but it does identify those critical need, provides services, obviously, the police department, sanitation, public works, all that's funded in the budget. Our capital improvements funds, obviously, we're looking at residential development. So anything that we have left over will go to incentivize those programs. Interesting. We had no tax increases. We actually are decreasing taxes just a little bit. We have a reassessment coming in. We have some new growth with new apartments here. So we're able to decrease our millage by 2 mills this year. So, and I don't know if folks really see that on the tax bill, but it's great to say it because it is, in essence, it's lowering the taxes. So there was no increase to our utilities and no increase in taxes. We're hoping we're going to be able to maintain our level of services for the next couple of years without having any increases. That's not a good thing to do to folks right now. Obviously, you do have to fund your government. So, that is something the mayor and council is willing to do, but right now it doesn't appear that the need is there. We'll identify those as we move on, but we're excited to announce that there are no increases this year. One thing that we've done is we're starting to replace some of our police cars. We are retiring out our Chargers, and we're replacing those with the Ford Taurus, and just sort of a rebranding of that. Cars are getting a fresh coat of paint and new striping, and so right now we have 4 that have been replaced, and officers love it. The folks in the community seem to enjoy the new look as well. Our police department's doing great. I think we've talked about a new chief here. Shook Camden is our new police chief, and they do a good job. We appreciate our law enforcement, and as we appreciate law enforcement countywide, all the towns in the county, and the sheriff's department as well. And by the way, our police department has a great relationship with the sheriff as well, and with the deputies there. So we appreciate that cooperation. We're closing out some projects that we'd started early spring. We had some grants, 3 grants as a matter of fact. 2 were for our parks, LTF's Memorial Park, and then our East Lake Park, where we built picnic shelters, we installed grills. Those are complete. And then the big project was the Gazebo Veterans Park renovation. And what that involved is there was a Veterans Memorial that was installed years ago that named, obviously, the soldiers who died during a wartime. We've moved that marker to the American Legion. and we are in the process of ordering a new memorial that will be placed along with the statue that I think folks are going to be really, really pleased with. It's going to really be a nice tribute to our armed forces and a memorial to those who died in service. Along with that, we are moving our flagpoles that are currently in front of our gazebo. Our trees are starting to grow. These trees were planted in memory of the astronauts. We've talked about that died on the Challenger explosion back in '86. So obviously cutting the trees down is not an option. So moving the flagpoles was really the only realistic option we had. So we tied that into this new Veterans Park project that we're doing. And that's going to be complete, and probably the next month that'll be complete. We are renovating the old dime store in town. The town purchased that building, and we're working with the architect now on designing and providing the concepts that we need to move forward with that. We're hoping to have something in place with the council to vote on in the next couple of weeks so that we can move forward with that renovation project. And what that will be is more of a community space. We're looking at ways to make sure the building is available for community use, as well as possible leasing options to future businesses.
How about the recreation programs? Everything back up and running full gear?
Yeah, yes. And with that, the Iowa Recreation Association, they've got sporting events, they've got all of their programs running, and we appreciate the association that we have with the county council. They provide funding for that. The town provides funding for that. So we certainly appreciate the collaboration we have with the county council in making sure that the rec department is funded appropriately. The county council also provides resources for our senior adults as far as the funding that they get that's approved through the county council. I think they rely heavily on that, so we appreciate that as well. But our Recreation Association programs, lots of kids are involved in that, and we have the Parky Bowie Complex. It's a great facility, and those guys do a tremendous job over there keeping that thing up and running. Of course, our ball fields are available as well, and we like to see our kids out playing, and we like to see the there's nothing like a small town where kids grow up and they remember, I played on that ball field, and I can remember that myself. So creating memories is also a good thing in aspects of the recreation program. We appreciate our relationship with Paul's of Anderson County as well. We do have a lot of stray dogs here and cats as well, and they are we appreciate them because we're able to take those dogs there, and when we take them there, we know that they're going to be in good hands. Used to, we'd pick up a dog and you just wouldn't know what was going to happen to the dog. You sort of didn't want to do it. But now in recent years, it's actually a good thing. When you see a dog out on the road, or somebody calls and says, I've got a stray dog in my yard or whatever, if we can catch it and we can get it to Paul's, we know that dog's going to be taken care of. It's going to be seen by a vet. It's going to be fed properly. It's going to go outside and walk. And we hope it gets adopted. They do a great job in their campaign to get animals adopted. So from our perspective, we appreciate our relationship with Paul's, and we're very glad they're there. Well, the senior programs are definitely back. They're not to the full extent that we'd like for them to be back, but today actually we have our senior group meeting, and there will be about 100 that will have a meal, some entertainment, a speaker of some sort, something that will identify with what they enjoy, and some medical, social things. Guest speakers will come in, and that particularly will identify with those aspects of where they're at in their life. Spiritual ministers come in and speak to them. They have a great time. The Circle of Hope Widows. It's a group that, especially for women who are widows, that is a very important thing here in town, because we have so many widows, and they meet once a month. That's back up and running, and those ladies socialize together. It's just a great thing for them. They're back up and running, and then the county sponsored food nutrition program. We're just sort of waiting to see what's going to happen there. That was a really good thing. So we're hoping that's going to start back pretty soon. That was a 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, where seniors are able to actually get a meal and some entertainment, some exercise. So we want that to start back as soon as possible. We haven't heard on that one yet. But the others are running. The Jackson Mill property is available. We do have some real estate agents that are working with the owners on that. We've had some interest. That's a big project that's going to take quite a while to develop. So really nothing to report on that. But we do have some housing developments going on. We have 6 houses that are being built in town. Two of the foundations are built now. And then we are looking at another about 10 houses on the west side of town. And so we're working with the developer on that to get everything in place on that. So that's something, we've talked about, that Iowa needs new residential development. And that's something we've focused on through zoning, through infrastructure planning, to get those things in line so that we can recruit that. The council, the mayor and the council have been very proactive in making sure that that is a priority. We know that residential development has got to happen here. Our homes are getting older, and we've got to have some new inventory coming in. So that's what we're working on, and the efforts are paying off. Obviously, we've talked about this. This is a slow market, but that's about 16 houses that we're looking at getting built within the next year, and we hope that will spark a fire for some more development next year. As far as businesses go, we do have 3 new restaurants that are going to be opening up and within just the next couple of weeks, actually. Our Mexican restaurant closed down in the pandemic last year, and some new owners have bought that business, and they're going to be opening up next Monday. We have a barbecue restaurant moving in town, and then we have a deli moving in town. So that's great news for us. That puts us at about 12 restaurants for a small town. That's great. We have a new barber in town. And we just yesterday announced that a print shop is coming to town as well. So that's great news for a small town. That provides services to our folks here in town. It also opens up opportunities for us as the town, taxes, business licenses. It creates a revenue stream for us, which is something that's very much needed to run a small town. So we're pleased with post-pandemic progress.
And you mentioned housing. This area is still one of the areas where people that are talking about wanting to build a house and have some land, y'all have some tracts of land available down here that may
all
not
over
be
the
available in
place.
other parts of the county.
Yeah, it's all over the place here. This is a rural part of the county. It's very, this is a very agriculturally emphasized area of the county. And there's large tracts of land that are now, some of those previous owners have died out, families are selling that property, and there's just swaths of land that is available. And we're starting to see that. If you ride over on 413 from Belton to Iowa, you're starting to see that area starting to develop more, where there used to be pastures and just wooded areas are now being cleared off for homes that are being built. So it may not be in the city limits, but those folks are going to come to Iowa for their commerce. So it has a indirect benefit to the town, and but it's all over. It's not only on the route to Iowa from Anderson, but just going into Abbeville County as well, going into Hartwell. There's Antroville. There's lots of land that's available, and it's rather cheap compared to other areas in the county. I don't know how long it'll stay that way. But right now, we are probably in a fortunate position, because if you want to relocate here from, and let me say, we're starting to see people from California. Just had a couple move in from Delaware. We had several folks from California in the last month or so that have called us, that are buying some of the rental houses up. They're coming from all over the place, because it is a inexpensive place to relocate. And if you want to build a house, obviously there is land available. Well, Iowa is close to all the lakes, which is a major drawing card for a lot of folks, especially those recreation, retiree-minded folks. And then we're right on the Abbeville County line. We're on the Georgia line. So we have Elbert County, we have Hart County, we have Abbeville. We're just right in the center of that. And of course, we're only 15 20 minutes from Anderson as well. We have a good relationship with Star. Iva and Star collaborate together on a lot of projects, and our folks are all mingled together, churches. It's a very shared-minded community. But as far as what Iva's close to, you can be in the middle of Iva and be in any of these more urban areas within just minutes. A lot of our folks go to Hartwell for shopping and eating, and of course you have Hartwell Lake there, a great recreation area for fishing. You have the dam down there that folks run on, and but it's a very good location for folks that don't want to travel too far for something. And then you can come back to Iva where it's less populated and you don't have to deal with traffic congestion, and it's just a good, simple way of life here. And we hope that is the way it continues. But obviously, with the way the county's growing, we don't know how long that'll be. But Iva is in a good location. On August the 15th, which is a Sunday, I believe, at 3 o'clock, there will be a formal celebration of the People's Bank. The People's Bank has been in business for 70 years, and there is currently, we're working in the museum to create a proper display for the People's Bank. That's the original building that the People's Bank was in, and so we are just sort of giving the museum a renovation and a refreshing, so to speak. We're changing out some of the exhibits, putting some new ones in, and so we've just decided to keep it closed until that date. Now, on that date, which is Sunday the 15th at 3 o'clock, we will have the museum open, and at that point it will remain open. And we invite everybody to come for that event. The bank has been a major industry in town. They were a pioneer industry in town as far as commerce goes, and they provided a service. They have been a huge employer in town as well, so we celebrate with them, and we're really excited to celebrate with them on that date. There will be some guest speakers here, some dignitaries, and we'll have refreshments and all that. So that'll be a fun day. And so again, August 15th at 3 o'clock. Our general election will be in November of this year. All of our seats are up, our mayor and council. That'll be November the 2nd. Facebook is definitely the way to communicate. It's a fast way to communicate with the public, and the page is we regularly update. We provide announcements, most of them good. Sometimes our trash is an hour delayed, and it's just a way to communicate that. It's a great tool. It's a great tool. And then we're able to announce new businesses, restaurants that way, events, and staying in touch with folks. And most people have it now. If they don't have it, they hear within an hour or so from the folks who do have it. So it is definitely a good tool, and yes, we do utilize that as much as possible.